My name is Ellen Harper, and I'm 52 years old. 6 months ago, I stood in the bridal suite of the most beautiful venue in Napa Valley, adjusting the veil of the daughter I'd raised since she was 4 years old, and heard the words that broke my heart in two. "You're not my real mom. My stepmom is waiting to do this." Emily's voice was cold, matter-of-fact, like she was correcting a waiter about her order. I froze, fingers still holding the delicate lace. The room went quiet. The makeup artist stopped blending. The photographer lowered his camera. I looked at my daughter, my beautiful 28-year-old daughter, in the $80,000 custom couture gown I'd paid for, the one I'd flown to Paris to help choose, and felt 24 years of love crack like thin ice. I stepped back, smiled the smile I'd perfected over years of swallowing hurt. "Of course, sweetheart," I said softly. "Whatever makes you happy." I walked out of the suite, down the hall, and let her stepmother, Vanessa, married to Emily's biological father for only 8 years, take my place at her side. I watched from the back row as Vanessa walked Emily down the aisle. I smiled for photos. I gave the toast I'd written months ago, voice steady, tears hidden. But when the reception ended and Emily was changing out of the gown, I quietly asked the bridal attendant for it. It was, after all, paid for by me. Custom made to my measurements first, then altered for Emily. It was mine. Emily turned pale when she realized. "Mom, you can't." "I can," I said gently. "And I am." I took the dress, folded it carefully into its garment bag, and left. That was the day I stopped being the mother who apologized for existing. Let me take you back, because to understand that moment, you need to understand the 24 years before it. Emily came into my life when she was 4 years old. Her biological mother, my husband Mark's high school sweetheart, had left when Emily was 2, overwhelmed by motherhood. Mark raised her alone for 2 years, struggling as a single dad in his 20s. I met Mark when I was 28, working as a nurse in the pediatric ward where Emily was being treated for chronic ear infections. Mark was there every night after work, reading her stories, sleeping in the chair. I fell in love with both of them. We married when Emily was 5. I adopted her legally when she was 7. She called me Mom from the first week. Mark and I built a life together. Comfortable, but not wealthy. I worked part-time nursing, then stayed home when our son Jacob came along. Mark was a mid-level manager at a logistics company. We saved for college, took budget vacations, lived in a modest 3-bedroom in Sacramento. Emily's biological mother reappeared when Emily was 12, wanting visitation, then custody battles. It was ugly. Emily chose us, stayed with us. When Emily was 16, her biomom died in a car accident. Emily grieved hard. Then, at 18, her biological father, David, reappeared. He'd remarried Vanessa, a wealthy real estate developer. They lived in a mansion in the Bay Area. David wanted to make up for lost time. Money flowed. Private college paid. New car. Designer clothes. Vanessa took Vanessa shopping, to spas, on trips. I watched my daughter, who'd worn hand-me-downs and loved our backyard camping trips, change. She started calling Vanessa Mom Vanessa, calling me Ellen in texts. I told myself it was normal. Teenagers, blending families. Mark died when Emily was 24. Heart attack at 49. I was devastated. Emily was too. But David and Vanessa stepped in. Paid for the funeral upgrades. Hosted the reception at their home. Emily moved in with them for a few months to grieve. When she got engaged at 27 to a nice young lawyer, the wedding planning began. With Vanessa. I was included, sometimes. The dress was my idea. I'd saved for years. Flew to Paris with Emily for fittings at a couture house. $80,000. Paid in full by me. Because I wanted her to feel like a princess. The day of the wedding, I was in the bridal suite helping with the veil, something mothers do. That's when she said it. "You're not my real mom." The room spun. I stepped back. Let Vanessa take my place. Watched from the back as Vanessa walked her down the aisle. Gave my toast, voice steady. Tears hidden. Danced with Jacob, who whispered, "Mom, are you okay?" I smiled. "I'm fine, honey." But when the night ended, I asked for the dress. The attendant looked confused. "It's paid for by me," I said calmly. "Custom to my measurements originally." "It's mine." Emily came out in jeans, face pale. "Mom, you can't take the dress." "I can," I said. "And I am." I took it, walked out with it over my arm, drove home alone. Hung it in my closet. The fallout was immediate. Calls. Texts. "You're punishing me for being honest. You're jealous of Vanessa. You never let me have my real family." Jacob defended me. "Grace, my stepdaughter from Mark's first marriage. No, wait, Grace was our younger daughter." I cried for weeks. Then something shifted. I stopped apologizing. The dress stayed in my closet. Emily called months later. Voice small. "Mom, I'm sorry. Vanessa pushed the real mom thing. I was scared of hurting her feelings. I was wrong." We talked for hours. She admitted wedding stress, Vanessa's influence, fear of not fitting both worlds. Therapy started. Vanessa called separately. Apologized. Admitted insecurity, wanting to be the mom. Distance grew with her. Emily visits now. Calls me mom again. We're healing. Slowly. The dress still hangs in my closet. I donated it to a bridal charity for brides who can't afford their dream. Emily understood. The wedding was beautiful. But the real gown was love. And I'm wearing it proudly now. If you've ever been told you're not real enough, remember, love makes family. Not blood. Not money. Not perfect moments. I'm 52. Not broken. Stronger. And I'm just getting started. Thank you for letting me share Emily's wedding and how we found our way back.